Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about the K1 visa requirements that can get you delayed or denied. And we've wanted to talk about this for a very long time because we're getting a lot of people who are coming to us after they've submitted their application but have now realized that they've done something incorrectly or that they've forgotten some supporting documents because they didn't realize there were certain requirements that they hadn't considered before applying for their application. So not only are we going to talk about the basic K1 visa requirements, but we're going to talk about those requirements that catch people by surprise and that cause them potentially to be delayed or denied with their application. As the US citizen, the K1 visa allows you to bring your foreign fiance into the US, get married, start your life together while you wait for your green card to get processed. And our goal with the visa streamline system is to have you completely informed as to whether you qualify or not, so that you know whether to apply or not. And the lawyer is going to qualify you as well as determine if there's any red flags. So you're completely informed as to what your situation is. And based on that, if you qualify, you can submit your application. If you don't, then you're not going to waste your time or your money. So the first set of basic requirements are that you are a US citizen. And by the way, permanent residents are not eligible to apply for the K1 visa. You must be a US citizen. The second basic requirement is that your fiance resides outside the US. And then of course, both of you are of legal age to get married. And also another basic requirement is that your foreign fiance has a genuine interest to marry you. And finally, that you both agree to get married within 90 days of your fiance arriving into the US. The next requirement is whether you're single. Now, many people don't think about this one, but it catches them by surprise. So if you've been married before, you want to make sure that you have your divorce paperwork, that you and your fiance have your divorce paperwork in order. The next requirement is that you've met in the last 2 years. Now, most people understand this requirement, but what you want to make sure is that you document it. So you want to be able to show proof of it. So keep copies of your emails before you go, after you come back, the restaurants you visited while you were visiting your foreign fiance, the places you visited, and also, of course, pictures. Keep a lot of pictures and the receipts. Now, not only keep those, but back them up. We, hear of a lot of sad stories, and one of them, a lady contacted us. She went to visit her fiance and took all her pictures on her camera, on her cell phone. And when she got back, she dropped her phone in water. And so she lost all her pictures. They hadn't used another camera, they hadn't backed it up, and now they weren't sure what to do. So make sure you back up your photos, you back up and keep copies of everything so that when you go to apply, you have that information available to you. The next requirement is the minimum income requirement. This is a very important requirement that catches people by surprise. So many people don't worry about it until the interview process when they actually have to show proof of financial support. What you want to do, whether you're doing this application yourself or if you're using a service, you want to make sure that you ensure and determine whether you meet those requirements before submitting your initial application. Now you can use our web page. We have a web page that gives you the table and the list of amounts to determine what your minimum income requirement is based on the number of dependents you have. Use that page and determine it. If you don't qualify for it, you may be able to use a sponsor to meet this requirement. The next requirement is the custody of children. Again, this one is another one that catches people by surprise. If your fiance, your foreign fiance, has children that you're going to be sponsoring as part of the K1 visa, you want to ensure that they have the paperwork for sole custody of that child in order. So ask for the paperwork, review it, ensure that they do have sole custody of the child. The next requirement is regarding medical condition. If your foreign fiance has a medical condition that's a threat to public safety, they will not be able to qualify. If you're not sure whether their medical condition, if they do have a medical condition and you're not sure, send us an email at info@tnvisaexpert.com and we'll be able to help you with this. The next requirement is regarding criminal convictions. If you have a criminal conviction, this is a red flag and you're going to need to determine whether you qualify or not. If it's a major offense, there are some major offenses that will immediately disqualify you. So if you're unsure, send us an email at info@tnvisaexpert.com. The next requirement is regarding visa history. So if your fiance has visited the US previously, ensure that they've entered legally, that they didn't overstay on their visa, that they stayed as long as the visa permitted. And if they haven't, then this is another red flag that you're going to have to determine whether they qualify for the K1 visa. These are the main requirements to consider before you submit your initial K1 application. Now, if after watching this video you realized you have questions or that you possibly have red flags in your situation, contact us immediately. Send us an email at info@tnvisaexpert.com. Now, if however you realize that you do meet the qualifications and that you don't have any issues, then you can get started with the Visa Streamline system. It's 2 payments of $199. Remember, our goal is to provide you valuable information so that you can make informed decisions, and then to provide you solutions that's going to make your application process easy and affordable.